Alright, so in this video I want to talk about logos a little bit. There really is no information on this, but I want to show you how to make the interconnections between, if you have two logos, and you want to actually do that pretty simple. Right now I have the VFD run right here. This is actually going to be, this input is going to be fed from the second logo, which is well 1. Well 2 will have just the use of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down here and we're going to delete this because it's not going to do anything for us. And that also jumped up here. Okay, so I want you to imagine that also jumped up there. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to come over here and take this, and you can paste it here, and this makes a connection. This makes a network connection. Now, how did I do that? But quickly, I want to talk about that real quick. So, realistically, I just had this placeholder in here. I'm going to delete that because you can't, when you download, you can't, like if you download to a Logos and you have a pin that doesn't go anywhere, it'll give you an alarm and you can't download to it. So I had a placeholder, which is just like a M tag, which is just basically a M flag right here. You just put in, like as you see right here, I just put them in there just to kind of get them where I can download to it. So now we have this input, which if the drive is running, then it will send the command over here. Now we also want to use this to come up here and have that just like that. Now, what it's connecting to, and I don't want to talk too highly of the or too differently about the program, but with that said, we also have this up here, right? Where we had the connection where we're saying, okay, if this is running, we want to make sure that we can come back and control it, right? So this is VFD 2. So basically we want to slide back over here, and we can, now that it's over here, we can sit here and paste it over here. Now the tags are starting to look a little rough, so what we do is we can separate them, and that way you have separation right here. So that way if you want to come down here and make this even more uniform, you can. Like if I want to take this and just scoot it over just a little bit, and then have this down here just like this, and even have that just a little closer, so that's a easy way to come over here and have like an input. If you need an input from one PLC mapped to another PLC, how do you do that, right? You just merely drag and drop it, and you come in, and I did this by split view up here. So what you do is you basically open up all the alarms or the diagrams, and you put it in split view right here, and then you're able to drag and drop. As you see, I've done this right here, done this right here. I've done this obviously, now I'm doing it through that as well. And then at this point, what you want to do is you want to click on the actual logos you're on, and then you can come down here and download to that. Now another thing too, if you don't have your logos right too, if you go online right here, see how these are checking themselves. If something's not right, say it's the wrong firmware, or something is not 100%, it will add another one right here, and it'll say undefined. That's just because generally speaking you have the wrong firmware or whatever the case may be. I had this happen on this one. So this one is, if you can tell, is a hardware. It's a Logo 3.8, and this one over here is a Logo 8.3. So I said 3.8, but it's 8.3. I'm sorry, I may have said that wrong. But either way, so they were a little bit different, and if you want to download to them, you can easily go up here. You can go to transfer, You go to transfer to logos. You can test your connection first to make sure you're on the right one. Okay, I am on the right one. Okay, so this says right here that I'm on 3. I need to be on 2. So let's pick 2. So my target address is 2. Let's refresh this. So we need to stop. Actually, it's wanting to constantly go to this one. So let's go to here, and let's go to here, and let's go up here to transfer again, and come up here. This is 2. We're going to test 2, and it should, theoretically it should show everything down here. So it's got a connection. So go online. Oh, I need to stop this. Alright, so what I'm going to do is stop this up here. Okay, so it instead of going online, it's stopped now. So I'm going to go to transfer. Actually, I'm going to click on this, go to transfer, download to the logos. I'm going to pick my version right here. I'm going to upgrade my status. You can see that it's the right one. Make sure your IP address is right, and then you're going to start transferring your information. Now this is going to stop the logos. I actually have it connected. It's going to overwrite the data that's currently there. Obviously, if you are running or something like that, you do not want to overwrite your data. That's going to be in there. And then we want to do the same thing over here, which is this one right here, which is the well 1. Come over here, and we'll download logos, and then we'll test. And you see why I picked it, right? Because it automatically picks the IP address. Come over here, pick it right here, and you can see this is going to stop the process. And you always want to look at your, like if you're able to look at the PLC, you always want to look to make sure you're on the right one. Sometimes that does happen where you're not on the right one and you have to fix it. So we do have everything downloaded now. We'll hit save, we'll go online. It's going to double check everything. Everything is good now. But again, when it comes down to it, you can easily see that that is a good way to do a marker or do a network connection between, like for this case, 2 different logos back and forth. So one sending a signal this way, I can send signals this way. I can do this multiple different ways. But that is a way to actually send signals very simply, rather than having to make them or do network connections and make them, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. I've been successful doing that. But the easiest way I've seen is to actually come in here and have, like if you have multiple, like for instance, you have like I have well 2 and well 1, 2 different diagrams. If you have multiple, just put it in split view and then come over here and add what you need to add. With that said, hopefully you learned a lot from that video. We'll see you guys on the next one.